Hey guys, welcome to my Midnight Spook Show. I'm Hellhound, and this is the creature movie tag created by Cecil of the Horror Show. So check out that channel and subscribe if you haven't already. I was tagged by Sean Erschen once again, and check out his channel as well, for sure. So let's go and begin. There's 10 questions, and the only rule is that we're not going to... vampires, werewolves, and zombies... those type of movies aren't allowed, I guess because they're too obvious, and plus, I think they're kind of their own thing, so, yeah, that'll probably take up most of the list. So, yeah, no vampire, werewolves, or zombie movies. Alright, let's go and get started. Alright, question number 1. What is your favorite creature movie? That's a tough choice. There's so many great ones. You know, Godzilla, King Kong, all the great, like, sci-fi movies of the 50s, the Ray Harryhausen special effects and stuff, you know, giant monsters or aliens, and there's so many good ones. But I think we could go with John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. I love the original The Thing from Another World as well, but I think John Carpenter's was even better. It was a lot closer to the original story, which was entitled Who Goes There, I believe. With an excellent creature, great special effects that still hold up today. It look better than most of today's movies, which is kind of sad. Kurt Russell's awesome, as always, as is the rest of the cast. Just a great movie, a great monster, as I said, great effects, great setting, you know, out in the Arctic, in the middle of nowhere, like a very, very isolated, very barren landscape, very, very secluded setting. So yeah, this movie pretty much has everything you'd want from like a sci-fi horror creature movie. Yeah, this list is all about creature features, and The Thing is probably my favorite creature movie. It's a close one. There's a lot of other great ones as well. Question number 2: what is your favorite creature design? I agree with Sean Ershen's answer. The Xenomorph from the Alien movies. Wow, what a great creature! What a great alien! You know, they used costumes, they used puppets, they used animatronics, you know, everything, and it always looked totally real to me. I never thought that, you know, it was fake looking or anything. Maybe a little bit at the very end when it's like trying to hold on to the space station, like when it's like outside. You know, it looked like an obvious guy in a suit, but it didn't take away from the movie at all. It still looked amazing. This is just a really awesome, unique design. Like Sean Erschen said, like the tongue-looking thing with the teeth and the you know, the arms and the really interesting shaped head. It's just a very, very cool, cool-looking monster, cool-looking alien. So yeah, that's probably my favorite creature design among many others. Question number 3: do you prefer humanoid or non-humanoid creatures? Meaning, like, do you want them to look more human, like have a human shape, arms or legs and whatnot, or like less human, more like a grotesque monstrosity? You know. I'm gonna go with non-humanoid, but only if it's not like too exaggerated. I don't like when they have like, you know, 3 eyes and like 18 arms and 7 heads and, you know, horns and spikes and wings, and as long as it's not like too over the top and too like ridiculous looking, I'd probably go non-humanoid because it is like more unnatural looking and thus probably scarier, more like unsettling and, you know, more terrifying to look at. But I like I like the humanoid looking ones as well, like the Predator and, you know, stuff like that. All right, but overall I'd go with non-humanoid, I guess. All right, question number 4: what's your favorite creature kill? Well, I definitely agree with Sean Ershen's answer. See his video for more info on that. That was a good choice. But I guess I'll go with maybe Quint from Jaws. You know, I like the Quint character, so I was really sad to see him go. But it was just so unexpected. I didn't think there was going to be any more deaths in that movie. When I first watched it, I mean, he falls right into the shark's jaws, right into his mouth, and starts eating him as he screams and becomes covered in blood. Just like, wow, they're just like so out of nowhere. It was so graphic and like happened kind of like sort of slowly, and then it's just like, wow, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't expecting him to die at all. You know, it was a great effect as well. You know, the shark looks kind of fake. The effects don't hold up all that well today, but it was good enough. It got the job done. That was definitely very disturbing looking, the way the way the shark grabbed him with his mouth and pulled him down into the depths. To be eaten by a shark, I'd say is one of the worst ways to go. It has to be, like, that had to be one of those terrifying ways to die, for sure. And I think it's probably one of my favorite creature kills for that reason. There's several other good ones as well. So that was a difficult choice. Alright, question number 5. What is a lesser-known creature movie that you would recommend? Definitely The Deadly Spawn. Now, the thing about that movie is the acting and the characters aren't really that great. But what sets it apart is it has a great looking monster. It's like essentially it looks kind of like a Venus flytrap kind of thing. There's like a bunch of mouths with all kinds of rows of jagged teeth and like tentacles and stuff. And they're aliens and they kind of grow out of the ground and they spread around. More of them are like popping up everywhere. There's a great big giant one too. A great looking monster, amazing effects with the creature and the gore. Very bloody, very very disturbing, very disgusting looking monster. It's really really amazing. I think the movie's pretty underrated and overlooked. But again, definitely see it for the effects, the gore, and the excellent looking monster, and then know that you're not going to be in for like any great acting performances or memorable characters because it's not really what the movie's about anyway. Also, I think the people kind of react very unrealistically to like a lot of the situations too, which kind of takes away from it a little bit. But again, the amazing looking monster, the great effects make it worth it. So definitely check that out. And maybe also recommend to a lesser extent, I think Extra deserves a mention because that's some really cool looking creatures and some great effects as well. So much that there was a scene from the movie Extra on the internet, and people actually believed it was real. People didn't remember the movie well enough, and it also was a great effect. They thought it was real. It's the monster, which is has a really weird backwards, like his legs are like behind him, and like his face is like the other way. It looks like somebody's like this. Only, whoops. Only they're facing that way. It's really creepy looking, really scary costume. I guess is how it's done, or a puppet or something. And people are driving along the road, they see it, and then it moves like out of the way really quickly. It's really scary, and yeah, that video's been on YouTube, and people are saying, "Oh, that's a skinwalker." I know what a skinwalker is, even though they don't even realize it's just a scene from a movie. That's how effective it was. Very depressing, very disturbing movie. But yeah, overall, The Deadly Spawn is what I'd recommend. Okay, well, I'm starting to go off on a tangent here. Let's get back to the creature features. Question number 6. What is your first experience with a creature movie? I'm pretty sure it was the original The Blob from 1958. That was one of the first. I think I had seen a lot of the Godzilla movies and stuff, but I think The Blob was probably the first creature movie that I watched as a kid. I immediately fell in love with the genre. I love that movie. I love movies of that type. Definitely a lot of great ones there, and I think pretty sure The Blob was one of the first ones I watched that I can remember anyway. All right, question number 7. What is your favorite Old Yeller moment from a creature movie? And I guess what this means is like, I guess when the creature's defeated in the end, maybe more specifically when it's like maybe kind of sad or something. I guess is what that's asking. I agree with Sean Erschen's answer. The original King Kong dying, falling off this skyscraper at the end of off the Empire State Building at the end of 1933. Classic. Love that movie, by the way. It's a masterpiece. One of my all-time favorites. It's a pretty sad moment because as Sean Erschen said, he didn't ask to be brought off his island into New York City. He didn't ask to be brought to civilized land. He didn't want to be brought into the big city. He was just trying to he wanted Fay Ray, Aunt Darrow. He was after her, but it caused him to to be killed. He was just a fish out of water scenario. He was just an animal acting on instincts. He didn't really mean to hurt anybody. I don't think he just got territorial. I also go with the Fly remake. Seth Brundle played by Jeff Goldblum. The Fly from what was it, '86, I believe. The original is good too, but I prefer the '80s version with Jeff Goldblum. And yeah, it's a very sad ending, very sad, very disturbing, very emotional ending, which is the point. So I'd say that could definitely count as an Old Yeller moment for sure. But yeah. Moving on, question number 8. What is the most tense moment from a creature movie? Oh man, there's so many. I think we could go with like the ending of the original Godzilla from 1954, when Dr. Serizawa is actually underwater. He's in the ocean with Godzilla, and he's invented a very powerful weapon, the oxygen destroyer, which destroys all life like within a certain radius. And we don't know, like, is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to pull it off? Godzilla's waking up. Is he going to be able to, like, defeat Godzilla using the oxygen destroyer? It's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? It's so tense and, like, has you on the edge of your seat. And what happens is Serizawa actually sacrifices himself because he didn't want anybody to ever replicate the oxygen destroyer. It's too dangerous a weapon. He didn't want to be, like, kidnapped by the enemy and tortured and forced to reveal how it's, made or whatever. How it works, and he sacrifices himself. He destroys Godzilla with it. And it's just like, wow, what a great ending. What a creative way to get rid of to defeat the creature at the end too. They had to invent a brand new weapon. to defeat the monster. Yeah, I love the Godzilla series, but that was probably the best of them all. The best ending and one of the most tense moments, for sure. Alright, question number 9. What is the worst creature design ever put to film? I agree with Sean Ershen's answer, the Goblins in Troll 2, which is one of the worst movies ever made. But I'm going to go with the Giant Claw. It's otherwise a pretty good movie, but the design of the Giant Claw is like a giant bird, like a vulture looking thing. I don't even know. It's just ridiculous looking. It's a terrible looking monster. Usually the best part of those old like 50s, 60s sci-fi B movies was the design of the creature and like the way the monster looked and how it was portrayed. But the Giant Claw, as I said, otherwise a good movie. The design sucks. It just looks ridiculous. It's terrible looking. My gosh, they could have done better than that. What a goofy looking monster. And I'll also go with the creature from the Raft segment of Creepshow 2. I love that story. I love the Raft segment. It's the best part of Creepshow 2. And I think the effects when the monster actually grabs a human is like dissolving their flesh off their bones is good. Kind of reminds me of the remake of The Blob. The monster itself just looks like a floating trash bag. It's not that imaginative. I think it could have been done a little better. I think the original story that Stephen King wrote described it a little better, and I think he deserved better than that. Again, a great segment, a great monster overall for what it does, but the look of the creature is all like very basic, very generic, and just kind of, as I said, just looks like a bunch of like a plastic bag. This could have been done a lot better. But again, a great segment nonetheless. The design of the monster doesn't take away from it at all. Alright, the final question number 10. What is the best modern horror movie creature? Again, I definitely agree with Sean Erschen. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Not only is it one of the best, one of the most creative, it reminds you of the old like creature feature movies. It brings back, it kind of reminisces about the old creature features, like a modern day monster movie, which you don't see a lot of. It's one of the older ones I can think of as well. I also really like the one in the movie Slither, which I think is kind of underrated and doesn't get talked about very much. It's kind of like a modern day Night of the Creeps with really great effects. A lot of practical effects, which is admirable in this day of CGI. So yeah, that was a good movie. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers, the Creeper overall. Alright guys, well, long live creature features. They're some of the best, some of my favorite types of movies. This is a very fun tag. Thank you for watching. I'm Hellhound. Again, check out Sean Ershen's channel. Check out The Horror Show. Cecil was the one that created this video once again. And I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching. Until next time.